Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of one of the most iconic sitcoms of the 70s, Good Times. It's time to take a trip down memory lane and see how the cast has changed over the years. Get ready, because some of these transformations might just shock you. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to stay updated on all our latest videos. All right, let's jump right in and see how the cast of Good Times has aged over the years. Brace yourselves because you won't believe your eyes. Jimmy J.J. Walker. As James J.J. Evans Jr., Jimmy Walker portrayed J.J. Evans, the charming eldest son in the Evans household. His famous catchphrase Dino might became legendary, cementing his place as a cultural icon. He emerged as the breakout sensation of the series. Prior to joining the Good Times ensemble, Walker established himself as a stand-up comic, gaining recognition for his sharp wit. His breakthrough role on television came with Good Times. In 2010, Walker had a brief appearance in the film Big Money Rustless. The following year, he featured in a Sci-Fi Channel production, Super Shark, on May 4, 2023. He made a guest spot on The Bold and the Beautiful in 2012. Walker memoir, Dynamite Good Time S, Bad Times, Our Times, a memoir, hit the shelves. Additionally, in 2012, Walker announced the launch of his official app, created by Monty Ghoul, for iOS. Following the conclusion of the series, he made guest appearances on various TV shows, including Scrubs, Blossom, and The Drew Carey Show. More recently, he had recurring roles in several episodes of the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful, and in 20123, he appeared in the movie Don't Suck. Presently, he continues to entertain audiences with his stand-up comedy performances. Esther Roll as Florida Evans. Esther R., the esteemed actress who portrayed the matriarch Florida Evans in Good Times, passed away in 1998, just 9 days after celebrating her 78th birthday. Before her demise due to complications from diabetes S, she enjoyed a lengthy and prosperous career on screen. Florida was the heart and soul of the series, initially serving as the housekeeper for the titular character in the show. Ma, instrumental in the sitcom's evolution and deeply committed to its message, Ray advocated for the inclusion of John Amos's paternal character, James Evans, after the original script depicted her as yet another black single mother. "I refuse to perpetuate the falsehood that black fathers are indifferent to their children," she expressed as recounted by Variety. "I took pride in presenting a depiction of family life on television." Rye's activism for authentic black representation on screen earned her the NAACP Chairman's Civil Rights Leadership Award in 1990, making her the first woman to receive this honor. Roll's contributions to Good Times garnered her a Golden Globe nomination in 1979, and she later clinched an Emmy for her supporting role in the World War II drama Summer of My German Soldier. You might also recognize her from her appearance in the Academy Award-winning film Driving Miss Daisy at the pinnacle of her acting career. She even released a funk and soul album, Tit Garden of My Mind, in 1975. Despite her declining health, Rolla remained dedicated to her craft with her final film, Train Ride, filmed in 1998 and released posthumously in 2000, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to acting until the very end. Jeanette Dubois as Wynonna Woods. Jeanette Dubois, known professionally as Jeanette Dubois, portrayed Wynonna Woods, the local gossip and friend of the Evans family on Good Times. She passed away from natural causes in 2020 after a long and accomplished 881 years, assuming the sitcom's lead role in the fifth season of 1977 during Esther R.'s temporary departure before her return for the sixth and final season. Dubois remained an integral part of Good Times from start to finish, prior to joining the Evans family on screen. She made waves for Black representation by appearing in the 70s soap opera Love of Life, where her character, Loretta Allen, became one of the first Black women to feature regularly in a daytime television series. In addition to her acting prowess, Dubois enjoyed musical success akin to her Good Times co-star, Esther R. Fans of the Jeffersons, the sister sitcom produced by Norman Lear like Good Times, likely recognize her remarkable vocals from its theme song Moving On Up, which she also co-wrote. With a career that originated in the vibrant world of 1960s Broadway, her multifaceted talents come as no surprise. Hailed as a champion for the community by the Chicago Crusader, Dubois established the Dubois Academy of Theater, Arts and Sciences for teenagers in Long Island, New York, as well as the Dubois Care Foundation to bolster youth after-school programs. A staunch advocate for Black representation in the arts, she co-founded the Pan-African Film and Arts Festival in Los Angeles in 1992, yet another significant endeavor solidifying her enduring legacy. Janet Jackson as Mint Penny Woods. Most individuals recognize Janet Jackson for her singing career, but she initially ventured into both singing and acting. Born in 1966 in Gary, Indiana, she holds the distinction of being the youngest among 10 siblings, frequently accompanying her renowned brothers on tour. She also shared the screen with them in the series The Jacksons, securing the role of Penny Gordon on Good Times in 1977. She swiftly captivated audiences and became a fixture on the show. Following her stint on Good Times, she graced the hit television series Different Strokes as Charlene Dupre. Shortly thereafter, she landed a role on Fame. However, Jackson's primary claim to fame undoubtedly lies in her music career. She's been married thrice and is a mother of one child. At the age of 18, Janet Jackson secretly wed singer James DeBarge in September 1984. Their marriage was annulled in November 1985. In 1986, Jackson initiated a relationship with dancer, songwriter, director Rene Elizondo Jr. In March 1991, she married Elizondo Jr., and the marriage remained clandestine until their divorce proceedings became public. Elizondo filed a lawsuit against her, seeking an estimated settlement between $1 to $25 million, which was ultimately reached, and their divorce was finalized in October 2003. From 2002 to 2009, Jackson was romantically involved with music producer, rapper, songwriter Jermaine Dupri. Jackson crossed paths with Qatari businessman Wissam Al-Mana in October 2006, and they began dating in 2010. The couple eventually became engaged and tied the knot privately in 2012. Jackson welcomed a son in January 2017. However, in April 2017, reports surfaced indicating their separation and intention to pursue a divorce, with Jackson officially confirming the split the following month. Bernadette Stanis as Thelma Evans. Bernadette Stanis portrayed Thelma Evans, the bright and driven daughter within the Evans family. Her character confronted various societal issues, including sexism and racism. Good Times marked Stanis's debut in acting. Following the conclusion of the series, she made guest appearances on numerous shows, such as What's Happening and The Cosby Show. More recently, she secured a recurring role in the 2022 television series The Family Business and appeared in the 2023 film A Christmas Blessing. Stanis has exchanged vows 4 times. Initially, she married her high school sweetheart, Thomas Fontal-Roy, in June 1974, a union that lasted until 1978. She later wed Brooklyn nightclub owner Darnell Johnson. In January 1979, Stannis entered her third marriage with mechanical engineer Terrence Redd. Around April 1982, Stannis welcomed their daughter, Dior Ravel, into the world, before eventually parting ways with Redd. Her fourth and current husband is Kevin Fontana. While an article in 2012 suggested they had celebrated 31 years of marriage, alternative sources, as mentioned above, indicate Stannis' marriage to Redd occurred around 1981. Additionally, Stannis is a proud mother of a second child, daughter Brittany Rose. Presently, Stannis resides in Atlanta, Georgia, alongside her children. Johnny Brown as Nathan Bookman. Johnny Brown portrayed the recurring character Nathan Bookman, the building superintendent, in the 1970s television series Good Times. A nightclub promoter and entertainer, his earliest notable role was as a regular member of the cast on the television program. Laugh-In Brown is primarily remembered for his stout figure, charming smile, expressive face, and affable, humorous demeanor. Brown also featured in various television advertisements, including promotions for Hunt's Manwich and the Rye Brothers pen, a short-lived product from the Papermate Pen Company. During the 1970s, one notable commercial showcased an elaborate musical performance titled Right on Brothers Ron, led by Brown, portraying a teacher who encouraged his student chorus to use the pen for their schoolwork. In 1999, Brown made appearances in 2 episodes of the Nickelodeon children's sitcom Keenan and Kel. He portrayed Wallace Suitcase Jefferson in the 2004 mockumentary The Old Negro Space Program. Brown passed away in Los Angeles on March 6, up 2122 at the age of 84. He collapsed shortly after departing from a medical appointment for his pacemaker and was pronounced deceased upon arrival at the hospital. Albert Reed as Alderman Fred Davis. Having portrayed the character Fred C. Davis, a dubious and disreputable local politician on Good Times, Albert Reed Jr. passed away at the age of 76 in 1986, marking the first death among the sitcom's cast depicting a parody of corrupt politics. Davis borrowed catchphrases from the maligned and recently resigned President Nixon, and while disliked by his fellow characters, Reed's portrayal was beloved by audiences. Interestingly, Reed was not only an actor but also a real-life law enforcement officer, though we trust his methods were more ethical than his characters according to fandom. His role on Good Times wasn't the only instance of art imitating life. In 1970, he appeared in the film Airport while concurrently working at L International Airport, where he eventually retired as chief of security, balancing his career between acting and security work. Reed took on various film roles, with his most notable performance aside from Good Times being in the 1972 film Where Does It Hurt? He is also remembered for his television roles, including portraying Dr. Joshua Barnes in the children's series The Secrets of Isis, as well as appearing in supporting roles in other sitcoms of the same era like The Jeffersons, and Sanford's son Ben Powers. As Keith Anderson Powers gained recognition for his portrayal of Keith Albert Anderson, the spouse of Thelma Evans, in the final season of the CBS sitcom Good Times. His career took off in the 1970s under the guidance of Adrian Hall, a director at Trinity Repertory Theatre in Providence, Rhode Island, his hometown. Apart from his stage performances, Powers ventured into stand-up comedy, delivered impressions, and showcased his vocal talents by singing both classic standards and his own compositions. Additionally, Powers became a regular cast member on the popular CBS TV detective series Mickey Spain's Mike Hammer from 1984 to 1985, until the lead actor, Stacy Keach, encountered legal issues in London related to cocaine smuggling, resulting in the show's cancellation during Kay's imprisonment. Powers departed from Hollywood by the end of 1985. Prior to the revival of the detective series during the early 1980s, Powers made appearances in several feature films, including Cheech and Chong's next movie, Things Aru Fall Over, and The Man Who Loved Woman, along with numerous television movies, often in minor supporting roles. He passed away from liver cancer on April 6, 2015, at the age of 64, and his remains were cremated. Moses Gunn as Carl Dixon. Carl Dixon runs a store where Michael briefly finds employment. Despite their differing religious beliefs, Carl and Florida start a romantic relationship and become betrothed. In the concluding episode of Season 4, their engagement is interrupted when Carl receives a diagnosis of lung cancer. Following a heartfelt conversation with Bookman, Carl musters the courage to propose to Florida once again. The couple ties the KN off-screen and relocates to Arizona. Another Obie Award followed for his performance in the NEC-produced play First Breeze of Summer, which later transferred to Broadway. Gunn's critically acclaimed portrayal of Owell at the Stratford, Connecticut Shakespeare Festival moved to Broadway in 1970. Gunn tied the KN with Gwendolyn Muma Landys in 1966 and became a stepfather to her daughter Kirsten Sarah Landys. They welcomed their son Justin in 1970, who later pursued a career as a musician and composer with the Copenhagen-based band, the Reverend Shine Snake Oil Co. Gunn passed away from complications related to asthma in Guilford, Connecticut, on December 16, 1993, at the age of 64. John Amos as James Evans Sr. John Amos brings to life the character of James Evans, the head of the Evans household. His firm and resolute demeanor, coupled with his unwavering dedication to his family, endeared him to audiences throughout the show. Prior to joining the Good Times ensemble, Amos portrayed Gordy, the weather forecaster, in The Mary Tyler Moore Show. He graced the screen in this role for 3 PR seasons before securing the recurring character of the intermittently employed spouse of maid Florida Evans. Portrayed by Iser Roll in Norman Lear's May, Amos has entered matrimony twice. His initial union, spanning from 1965 to 1975, was with artist and equestrian Noel Mickelson, with whom he shares 2 children. Shannon Amos, a writer, producer, and the founder of Afterglow Multimedia LLC, and Grammy-nominated director K.C. Amos. The contentious relationship between Shannon and K.C. regarding their parents' care has been chronicled by The Hollywood Reporter. His second marriage, lasting from 1978 to 1979, was to actress Lillian Lehman. Helen Martin as Weeping Wanda Williams. Wanda Williams resides in the same apartment building as the Evans family. In early episodes, she participates in a women's support group, and the other tenants come together to support her by organizing a rent party. In later episodes, she is depicted attending and mourning at various funerals, even for individuals she may not have known well, which leads JJ and Willona to f-dub hair sobbing. Wanda Martin graced the Broadway stage in a dozen productions, including Jane Jeunet, The Blacks, the musical Raisin from 1973 to 1975, A.I. Davis's Pearly Victorious and its subsequent musical adaptation, Pearly, The Amen Corner, and Tennessee Williams's Period of Adjustment. During an appearance on Late Night with Conan O'Brien to discuss Don't Be a Menace, Martin sparked excitement among host Conan O'Brien and the audience with her playful remark. In response to a question about portraying a potty smoking grandmother in the film, she exclaimed, "I adore the ganja," and jokingly suggested she would have pursued a career as a stripper if not for acting. Punctuating her statement with a suggestive dance, Martin passed away from a heart attack on March 25, 2000, in Monterey, California, at the age of 90. Teddy Wilson as Sweet Daddy Williams. Marin Sweet Daddy Williams is a menacing figure in the neighborhood, known for his involvement in illegal gambling and prostitution, often seen adorned in extravagant attire and jewelry. He made his debut in the black exploitation film Cotton Comes to Harlem in 1970. The next year, Wilson relocated from New York City to Los Angeles to advance his acting career. His first television appearance was in a 2-episode stint as Hawthorne Dooley on the TV show The Waltons. Following the show's cancellation, Wilson appeared as a guest star on various television series, including The White Shadow. He also penned an episode in 1980, Enos, Give Me a Break, The Golden Girls, and What's Happening Now. In 1986, he took on the role of Jim Jam in another short-lived show, The Red Fox Show. Wilson was a father to 3 children, Theodore Jr., Robert, and Nicole. Robert and Nicole were born to actress Joan Pringle, Wilson's co-star during the second season of That's My Mama. Pringle was appointed executive of Wilson's estate after his passing in 1991. On July 21, 1991, Wilson succumbed to complications from a stroke at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. At the age of 47, he had undergone open heart surgery several years prior to his death. Ralph Carter as Michael Evans. Ralph Carter portrayed Michael Evans, the youngest member of the Evans family. His character was noted for his social consciousness and activism, reflecting the shifting dynamics of the 1970s. Interestingly, Carter had various roles prior to joining the Good Times cast. At the age of 9, he appeared in the musical The Me Nobody Knows, and from there he secured royales in other stage productions such as Tough to Get Help Dude and Via Galactica. He also portrayed Travis Younger in Raisin, earning a nomination for a 1974 Tony Award in the category of Best Supporting or Featured Actor in a Musical. However, he is most recognized for his portrayal of Michael Evans Carter shared with ABC. I was fortunate to be part of the surge not only in African American theater during the 1970s, but also in that wave of awareness and wonderful television productions featuring African American talents. I'm deeply appreciative of those who guided me along the way. Following Good Times, Carter returned to the theater scene. In fact, in 1989, he joined forces with his former co-star John Amos on stage for the production of Pass is the Pass. Presently, Carter serves as the Vice President of the Audience Development Committee, an entity committed to honoring the contributions of African Americans to the theatrical domain. Well, folks, that concludes our journey through the lives of the Good Times cast. Then and now, it's clear to see that time has certainly left its mark on these talented individuals. And with that, we bid farewell to our beloved cast. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.